he pulled out his weapon and immediately shot him 4 times.
Denver police shoot into a crowd in Lodo. We're hearing from witnesses who are on scene.
It's appalling. It's shocking. It's awful.
Oh, shots fired! Get inside! Go, go, go!
A new report shows what happened the day of the Uvalde school shooting and the failures of Texas law enforcement.
Robb Elementary was not adequately prepared for the risk of a school shooter.
It's an extremely hot start to the week. We have a heat advisory now in effect, and it's in effect until 9 o'clock tonight. I'll show you just how hot it's going to get here this week coming up.
And it's the countdown to see the Stanley Cup champs. You can start buying your tickets to see the Avs in action this upcoming season. We start at 11 with a live look outside. You'll feel the heat as soon as you step outside. You're looking live from Lookout Mountain right now. It is going to be a hot one across the Front Range today. This map shows the forecasted highs, plenty of upper 90s, and yes, even some triple-digit temperatures out there. We are under a weather action day because of all of that heat. Meteorologist Lisa Hidalgo joins us now. Lisa, today definitely going to be a good day to find some AC or a pool or really anything in order to try to stay cool.
Yeah, you'd have to go pretty far to find a cool spot. And even then, in the mountains, we're talking 80s for highs today. Here's another look at that heat advisory. Covers the entire metro area, pretty much all of northeastern Colorado, and again, in effect until 9 o'clock tonight. So it is going to get hot, and it's going to stay hot. Even as we get close to sunset tonight, we're expecting some abnormally warm conditions. Right now, looking at 90s already in some spots. Keep in mind, 91 is our normal high for the day. Not even 12 o'clock, just after 11, and we're already above that normal high. Denver, 93. Highlands Ranch, same thing. Golden, a toasty 86 right now, and we have 70s in the mountains. Things are only going to get hotter from here statewide. We're expecting some triple-digit heat out across the eastern plains. We'll take a closer look at that, the highs that we're going to see not only today but through the end of the week, and I'll show you when we might get a little relief from it here in just a few minutes.
All right, Lisa, thank you. Now, one place people can go to stay cool today, Denver's rec centers. They're opening as free cooling stations during regular business hours. People can also stay cool in some Denver libraries, but some of those are closed on Mondays, so you'll have to check the city's website for library hours. Aurora is also activating its emergency cooling stations. Those stations listed right there on your screen. They will be open until 4 or 6 tonight, depending. Now you can keep an eye on the temperatures and get 24/7 Colorado weather updates and live radar on your TV. Just download the free Denver 7 Plus app for your favorite streaming device. Still plenty of questions this morning about a shooting in downtown Denver. Police opened fire as a bar was letting out near 20th and Larimer over the weekend. Officers say they were targeting a man who had pulled a gun on them. 5 innocent people are now recovering after being hit. As Denver 7's Christian Lopez reports, the case is now going to the office of the Independent Monitor.
The office was created by the mayor and city council back in 2004 to look into cases like this shooting where 5 innocent people were hit. It's responsible for investigating any complaints against DPD, officer-involved shootings, and in-custody deaths involving officers. They'll recommend any disciplinary action. In a video sent to us by a witness, you can see that chaos that broke out as people were leaving the bar Sunday morning. You can see what appears to be an innocent bystander shot in the thigh. Another part of it also shows a man being handcuffed by police on the ground. Denver police officers were responding to a fight that broke out involving the suspect, Jordan Waddy. Officers say they followed Waddy, and at some point he pointed a gun in their direction, and that's when they fired. Waddy was hit but is expected to survive. The 5 innocent bystanders caught in the middle of all of it were also injured but are expected to be okay. Denver police say at this time it appears the suspect did not fire his weapon. We talked to witnesses who say that this all happened while there were crowds of people all around.
As soon as the cop in the front pulled out his gun, he just started shooting. Like there was no time, no pause to process. Like as soon as he pulled it out, he just started shooting, and we heard 4 shots, and there was like a crowd of people in front of us, and there were still people coming out of the bar itself.
The suspect, Jordan Waddy, is in custody and could face criminal charges. Meanwhile, the 3 officers who fired their guns are on administrative leave. Reporting in Denver this morning, I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
A recently passed state law could be used to sue the Denver Police Department officers involved in this shooting. Now, Colorado became the first state in the U.S. to pass police accountability reforms after the death of George Floyd. And within that, the state got rid of qualified immunity for officers who act unlawfully. This means officers can face individual civil lawsuits. Part of the reform also banned things like chokeholds, required police to put new use of force rules into effect. Officers who interact with the public also have to wear body cams or have dash cameras in place by 2023. The Aurora Police Department is undergoing a major overhaul. We've reported on that state report that found the department used excessive force and racially biased police practices. That led to a consent decree in order to change things. Oh, and the city now needs to hire a new police chief. Now, the police chief application addresses some of those issues, saying the next chief must be equipped to manage the challenges and opportunities associated with a consent decree.
I think it will help them assess their own strengths and things that they are capable of doing. But it informs them about really where we're headed for the next 4 to 5 years as a department.
Now, the deadline to apply to become Aurora's next chief of police is August 19th. We're seeing new video of what happened when a gunman opened fire inside Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. This body camera video was just released in a report from Texas lawmakers who found systemic failures in the way law enforcement responded to that shooting. As Rena Roy reports, investigators say hundreds of officers failed to confront the single gunman.
Oh, shots fired! Get inside!
In newly released body camera footage, we're getting a closer look at what happened inside Robb Elementary School the day a gunman opened fire, killing 19 children and 2 teachers. The footage made public by the mayor of Uvalde after a scathing 77-page report by a Texas House Special Committee finding catastrophic lapses in training, preparation, and leadership.
If there's only one thing that I can tell you is there were multiple systemic failures.
Just minutes after the gunman entered the school, police were on scene.
Am I bleeding? Am I bleeding? Am I bleeding? My wife's classroom.
Officer Ruben Ruiz among the 376 law enforcement members who responded. He's in the hallway while his wife, Eva Mireles, a teacher, is in room 112 texting him. The rampage lasted 77 minutes before Border Patrol agents breached the classroom, killing the gunman. The report noting why it took so long to take him down, finding egregious poor decision-making on all levels.
The report says if you're not willing to put the lives of the people you serve, of those children, before your own, in my view, you should find another job.
School District Police Chief Pete Arredondo testifying that they prioritize getting children evacuated over approaching the attacker, saying, "My thought was, we're a barrier. Get these kids out."
We need to get these kids out of here. Come on, kids, come on.
Dispatch heard telling officers there were survivors, the committee stating it is plausible that some victims could have survived if they had not had to wait 73 additional minutes for rescue. The report also says the school's alert system was delayed due to Wi-Fi issues and that all 3 exterior doors to the school's west building were unlocked, giving the shooter easy access. Many families want officers to face criminal charges. That's up to the district attorney, who says this is still under investigation. She has not said whether any will be charged in the future. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
We will continue to follow that story. Now, back here at home, drivers can start using the new Central 70 tunnel this morning, afternoon, and moving forward. You're looking live from near the tunnel where the eastbound tunnel opened a few hours ago. CDOT still needs to do some work before that project, though, is finally finished. They still need to do some striping in the westbound tunnel to create wider lanes, like the express lane, and a wider shoulder. They also need to change barrier walls, but all of that work won't likely be finished until this fall.
We're going to have to demolish some of the barrier and re-pour that barrier. It's a lot of work. There are a lot of systems and things that need to be modified in order to switch to the final configuration.
Now, CDOT also needs to finish a park being built on top of the Central 70 tunnel. Air Tracker 7 flew over the park today to get a look at that progress there. Then this animation shows what it's going to look like when it's all said and done. The park will have things like a soccer field, an amphitheater, and a playground. The playground is expected to get done next month. The rest of the park will open in November. Denver wants to make federal boulevards safer. The city council will discuss an ordinance tonight to design and construct pedestrian improvements like crossways and ways to stop speeding vehicles. This would apply to areas within 1 block of Federal from 23rd to 27th. You can give your input on ways to make Cottonwood Pass safer. This is one possible detour route to get to Glenwood Springs when I-70 is closed. CDOT wants to do things like widen the road, improve sight distance, and additional paving. As you see, many parts of that are unpaved. There are 2 public meetings this week, tomorrow in Glenwood Springs and Wednesday in Gypsum. CDOT will post information online after the meetings for people who can't attend or who would like to submit their comments. Let's talk about those Stanley Cup champion Avs. You can buy tickets to see them in action in person next season. Single game tickets for the Avs preseason and regular season are on sale right now. Some highlights of the home schedule include raising the Stanley Cup banner at home on October 12th against the Blackhawks. The Avs will also play a pair of regular season games in Finland in early November. Steve Bannon is set to go to trial. Coming up, he's set to go before a jury for ignoring a subpoena to answer questions about the January 6th Capitol riot, despite agreeing to testify. Plus, the country's top infectious disease expert is ready to retire.